first off, very important, do remember that the Naldic Quarterly, the next Naldic Quarterly magazine is due out in July, very soon. I haven't got the exact date, but it's very, very soon. Edited by Manny Vasquez, who many of you may have known for a figure in obviously in London EAL. Topic assessment, which is also the topic of the Naldic conference. How many people are Naldic members in the room? Excellent! Woo! Just a point to those of you who aren't, Naldic Quarterly comes with membership, and the conference is cheaper if you're a member, along with everything else. It really is worth it. And obviously that's a topic that is in everybody's minds at the moment. It's got an essay just taking a perspective of assessment in the UK over the last few years, the sort of the twists and the turns and the ups and the downs and what's been going on, just to get some perspective on where we are now and some ideas for going forward. So I think that's going to be really good forward to that. Some events, things coming up. Jim Martin of Lilac fame is in London, but a more open access event is going to be hosted by the EAL Academy in Islington. That's a link, we'll get the PowerPoint, it's on July 7th, and that looks really worthwhile. Lots of practice, both theory and practice together. Is anyone a Lilac school? Does anyone use Lilac sources? That gives you a chance to meet the man. This is, there's nothing specific about it, but Miss Diodoniou, who is an educator in Australia, she's both an academic and also in one of the TESOL, I can't remember the acronyms, which I apologise, but she was one of the key people behind the EAL/D assessment criteria that snuck their way into the Australian curriculum. She spoke about that very interesting at the UKLA conference last year, about her. She's a very powerful advocate and very good at working power structures, I thought. Anyway, she's willing to do a workshop for Naldic members on EL and spelling, EL and grammar. She's quite happy to do that. That's something I hope we can have a conversation with her about. Coming up in the summer, Naldic Bell EL Coordinators course. Has anybody in here done that? Excellent.
Strongly recommended.
Thank you. And that's a link to sign up for that. It's in the summer, but it's, everyone speaks incredibly highly of it. It will really raise, I think, both your practical skills and certainly understanding of theory, so that's valuable. You can't really see that there. The MESH guides. The MESH guides are part of this research-based teaching, evidence-based teaching in education. It's a very powerful movement in education at the moment. Always has been for Naldic, of course, but the rest of the world's catching up with EAL on this, I think. Naomi Flynn, who is currently University of Winchester, but moving to Reading, I believe, with the help of Hampshire MTAS, which is Chris Pym and Sarah Coles, who many of you may well know, created the MESH EAL guide. So lots of theory, lots of practical stuff. There's a vast amount in there. At the moment it's a kind of beta version. She sent us one to try. That, in fact, is one that's open on the internet, and I haven't checked to see if it's the same one, but you can have a little look there. It's due to go live properly either July or September. I don't know the exact date, but certainly keep an eye open for that, I would. It's got lots and lots of both advocacy to help you explain to senior leaders why things should happen a certain way, as well as lots of practical advice about how to do stuff. It looks, I'd say, we've had a little prowl around, it looks excellent. More to come on there. I'd say MESH stands for, I had to look this up myself, Mapping Educational Specialist Know-How Initiative. There's a woman called Marilyn Leake. Only can you Google these people, whatever. They've got them for lots of different subjects. And it's great to see EAL in there because it has tended to be a bit of a, not invited to the party in these kinds of agendas. So that's something to look out for. As a result of a little bit of advocacy, I don't know if you've come across the Research Ed conferences, and Tom Bennett, who has in fact just been appointed the Behaviour Czar, was in the news yesterday. Apart from that, he has this empire of conference building, about which one could say much. I'm not going to say very much, but it is a set of events that are very high profile. And Naomi's going to speak and present the MESH guide, which means that a lot more people will actually get to understand some of the issues behind EAL, so I think that's fabulous. And also a colleague called Samina Chowdhury, who is based in Doncaster. She's very experienced EAL equalities, very passionate, very powerful. She's going to speak about qualitative research related to Eastern European children's attitudes and achievement. And that got accepted as well. It's a slightly different agenda to the usual Research Ed brief, so that's quite positive. So 2 EAL topics at that conference. And that's a link if you wanted to have a look. That's not free, but it should be an interesting day. Has everyone seen the January 2015 census figures out, reported this week? So as you all know, that's where we are on the rise, 0.7, quite high. I mean, I won't, that's just it. If you haven't seen the link or haven't come across it, that's where it is. Has everyone seen the EF research bid window? Some information about that. There is, now who is it? It's Philanthropy Unbound, Bell and EF. Are those the three, I think, have got together a few million. It is quite a few million as well, for research projects for EAL. That's the link. There is an event, but that's now sold out. I checked on Eventbrite just now, so if you haven't already signed up for it, you can't now, but presumably there'll be some paperwork coming out of it, and it's not obligatory to attend in order to do the application. There's lots of detailed information about what to do. I mean, it's going to be very focused on the EF criteria, so it's all about scalability, RCTs and that kind of reliability and scale, all those kinds of things. Whether we feel that's necessarily going to be the most helpful kind of research for our children, the work we want to do, or whether we can think of ways to get clever with those kinds of demands and make sure we get some money. But anyway, there's an opportunity to bid for some money to do research in relation to EAL in school. Yes, the first bit is entirely Twitter related, and it's all to do with me being on Twitter. It's not to do with NALDIC specifically, although there will be NALDIC people involved. As a result of being on Twitter and having a chat with Sean Harford, he said, why don't you get a focus group together? So we are going to have a focus group going to, Catherine Driver's going to come. There's various people. We tried to get people together from different parts of the country, and it needed to be small, that's why. So in a way, it is another clique, and I apologise for that. And I'm happy to be transparent and have a conversation about the various people who are there, but the aim was really to focus on the issues that we all know are really important, like the data really isn't very effective, and officers don't know what they're talking about, and all the kind of things that we know. So that's next week, and we'll see what we can do with that, and feedback, whatever. But that was entirely by being there, being pushy, and being out in public with lots of people watching. And for some reason, he decided at that moment he wanted to play. I don't know why. Similarly, we've been able to talk to Alison Peacock, who is on the Assessment Commission at the moment, and put some things to her, which she said she's passed on to the chair of that commission. I've got David Weston, who is the chair of the ITT committee at the moment, following on from Carter. I had a chat with him on the phone, so who knows? EAL's invisible in all of those agendas, so I think sometimes you just have to have those conversations, an advocate. Someone else who's on the Carter committee, Sam Twistleton, I don't know if you've come across, she's an educator in Sheffield. She's very keen to come to NALDIC conference. She's signed up, she's free, so we have that commitment. So I think it's about drawing the mainstream to us as well, and that seems to be going very successfully. Any of you know Sam Holmes in the Free Word? Free Word, it's a link there. It's a great site about, I suppose, linguistic repair globally. So it is a fantastic site. I don't know what this is all about, but they've emailed me, I don't know why. They're going to do a multilingual creativity lab, set it up, and they're having an event in November. And they emailed to me was about expressing interest. So I'm not sure what expressing an interest means, but it seems like you want to participate, and I certainly do. If anyone else would like to, I don't know why they emailed me, but I'm quite happy to pass the email on to you. And my email's on the front of this particular PowerPoint, so that you can express an interest too.